Hey, what's going on, everyone? Playing a little Civ 6 today. I have invited some friends and some people from the Discord. You guys are also welcome to drop in if you'd like. Just drop. Probably best to do it through the Discord. I was just trying to figure out who I'm going to play. I think my wife is going to drop in, so I picked a couple of civs that she likes. Do everybody on deity, so that way if everybody, people drop in and everything. I'm starting a couple hours early than I told everyone. But, this is casual. We might not even finish this game. I'm just going to go for the 3 hours and 45 minutes or whatever we got here, maybe 4 hours, and then probably call it. So we've got disaster intensity turned up a little bit here. We're playing at online speed, so we can hopefully get through some stuff. Continents and islands, because that's kind of my favorite play style. And, depending on who you're playing or who's in the game, it's always a bummer if you're like, playing Coupe or something, and you're on like a Pangea or something. So it's not horrible, but it's not as fun. So, and not really as fair. Playing on a large map size, I normally tend to go like huge. I like really big, really long games. That's just my personal preference. But toning it down, and I also usually go with I usually play like epic speed, so or even marathon sometimes. Down here, I'm just turning on barbarians and clans and monopolies and corporations. I often play with secret societies. There's kind of some cheese you can do with just using that as like a boost to get more. Early game to get more governor titles, so I just figured I'd leave it off. I do have a handful of mods. I'm not really into mods, not that I don't mind them. I've got better balanced starts, and then a handful of others that people have that I've played with apparently have suggested or played with, so that's what I'm playing with. It's not I guess I'll show you down here. I realized actually just looking at it, because I was going to list them all, and then I was like, oh, that's too many to list. or too many that I didn't feel like listing out for everybody in the Discord. But anyways, there are some that are actually changing the AI, which I didn't realize, which might explain why I've been happier with the game recently. Maybe they fixed the AI, but yeah. Yeah, quick trade deals is amazing, Lariel. Yeah, I'm not talking on the mod. Quick trade deals is awesome to be able to just quickly make a few trades. So I'm trying to decide here who to play, and I should throw in some other pretty good civs. Does anybody have any thoughts or opinions? I kind of want to play somebody, since I am streaming, that I know pretty well and I can play pretty easily. I thought about doing Coupe, but I oftentimes play Coupe kind of weird, and I don't play him going for the cultural victory that I feel like he is very much leaning towards, although I think that could be fun. Also thought about playing Pachacooty. I love Patches. He's just super fun. Pedro I played the other day, and I think I'm going to be doing a kind of a guide on that. Mansa Musa is another one that's a little bit different. Yeah, I think I played Pedro the other day with a couple of friends, and it was a little bit unfair. I think I've played more recently than them, America. So I was like, you know what? I'll kind of make a guide for that, because you can kind of abuse it. You can also abuse Mansa Musa pretty well also. So he's kind of interesting. And I think there's a new Mansa, or a new Molly that you can play with somebody else. I'm not sure if it's Mansa Musa, but just a different version of him. I can't really remember. There it is. Sandiata. Okay. 20% less gold to recruit great people. Market gains 2 great work slots. Okay, that's interesting. Oh yeah, the new Germany does look interesting for culture, I think, right? I don't even remember who it is. A lot of Ludwig. Oh yeah, it is Ludwig. Crazy King Ludwig. He half built a bunch of wonders in Germany and left them all half finished. All right, so we got to make a decision here. I'm not really feeling super drawn towards anybody, so let me throw in a few other ones here that I know are good or fun. Hey, Simone, he'll be a problem. Maybe leave a couple of randos, and let's try Coupe. Coupe will be fun. Coupe could be. Coupe starts can be kind of crazy. Let's just try Coupe, and yeah, we'll see how far we get. Coupe is really fun in the early game. What I like to typically do is just go kind of crazy with settlers, send them everywhere. This can really help you for later on in the game whenever you're doing cultural type victory stuff as well. He's a little bit odd for those who, a lot of the civs in Civilization 6, like, I don't know, roughly half of them, I'm making up a number, but will fundamentally change the way the game is played. And so Coupe really doesn't want you messing up nature. So we'll make a lot of preserves. He has a unique building that is in the cultural district, I believe, the Marais. I believe is how you say that. His unique unit is a Toa, which replaces the swordsman. They're really fun. Mostly this just allows you to be kind of amphibious with your attacks a little bit easier. I think we mostly want to be passive. We don't really want to get into any wars, but I'll be honest, when the when the computer messes around, sometimes I get a little annoyed. And I get a little, oh wow, look at that coast. Well, I think we know where we're settling. Wow, that's crazy. Okay. Interesting. I mean, I want to go on this hill here, fresh water and everything. I am missing out on all these fish, though, if I do that. Let's see. I mean, I think we have to. I don't really think there's any choice there. Another way that I play Civ is, I wouldn't say it's like RP focused necessarily. Oh, do we got a cute little island here? Oh, that's nice. I wouldn't necessarily say it's like RP focused, but a little bit, if I'm being totally honest. I like, even when things are perhaps like the most beneficial, if I just don't like the flavor of it, I will tend not to do that. So like, I don't just chop down every tree I can see, even if that might be the most efficient thing to do in some circumstances, and so on and so forth. So one of the things with Coupe, for those who are new, when we found unimproved woods and rainforest gets +1 production. So that's kind of the benefit of them. Again, he kind of like makes it where you want to leave things more or less how they are. I'm just second guessing if I want to try to reach any kind of fishing opportunity and like, or go like deeper into. I think we're just gonna not overthink it. We're just gonna found here. You also start off with a builder as Coupe, which is really nice, and you can see these tiles look really good. Whenever you build a fishing, I'm not sure what they call it, but one of the fishing areas and fishing improvements, it'll culture bomb, so you'll get all the tiles around it. That's what culture bombing is. Fishing boats, I guess, is what they are. Cool. So we're gonna start here. As Coupe, you do start off unlocking some, and I'm doing kind of a tutorial because there's a lot of people that are new to Civ that might be watching. So Gallery and Quadrine, you actually start out, again, the Coupe is one of the civilizations. Normally this isn't unlocked for you, and certainly not shipbuilding. So you start off with that unlocked, and he's the only Civ in the game where you saw we start out in the middle ocean. Oftentimes you'll start out and you won't be able to see anything but water in any direction. So cool. Yeah, so it's been a bit since I played him. I think we'll probably make a quick scout here because we can. Normally it takes you quite a few rounds to really find a place to land as Coupe. Looking at our territory, we got a campus we could put here, but we could also do one here because it's going to get a +2 from the reef here. So maybe looking at campus here, maybe something else. By and large, though, we're not going to be doing a whole lot of improvements. We're mostly going to be looking for a preserve to throw that down somewhere, probably here or here possibly. We'll be throwing down a preserve, and that'll give a lot of adjacency bonuses to the surrounding tiles. Oh, I forgot that these are horribly uninviting because we're not playing. I'm so used to playing Pedro. Never mind. I'll have to think about that. For right now, I'm not really going to think about it too much. I'm just going to pick a tech and go from there. We'll kind of scout, explore, something I usually do pretty often with Coupe, just to give yourself kind of a head start while you're starting out the game. And then this warrior, I tend not to go on land too much because you slow down quite a bit. It's much better, and you find out a lot more if you just kind of follow along on the coast. And then you can jump up if you see a barbarian camp or a village or something like that. All right. Well, we will want to get a religion at some point. We will want to move into getting a campus district as well. I don't really have a really great plan for Coupe super early game. Probably should before I jump into a stream, but that's okay. We're just going to play. And after that, I usually just start pumping out settlers. Get them out early, get them out quick, and I'm like, why is this only taking 5 turns? I forgot what speed I'm playing on. All right, first barb camp. Got another nice island here. I am going to move this settler back and put a fishing boat over that amber, which is a weird thing to say. But so I still want to explore with him, but I don't want to go too far because it looks like we might be growing towards the truffles. Either way, I'll either buy it or something. But I've got 3, and then it will be 4 really good tiles that I can kind of be using before then. I might actually buy out to that banana. We'll go with increased combat strength versus barbarians, and then yeah, we do want to get some faith going so that we can get a pantheon. Pantheons are really strong in Civ 6. I know they were really weak in Civ I think 5. So a lot of times people who've played some of the older Civs are like, oh, that's, they don't think it's very good. That is definitely not the case. They're really important in Civ 6. Similarly, difference between Civ 5 and Civ 6 is if you are used to Civ 5, you don't go as wide, you don't build as many buildings and what have you, or I'm sorry, as many cities. That is not the case in Civ 6. You want more is better. Interesting area here. Like, I think it's either a really weird peninsula or it's another island. We got another island here. It's kind of a nice map. Honestly, I didn't really expect it to be so, even with continents and islands, it's not always this good. So just trying to decide where to go here. I mean, this is a pretty fun city to found here, with plenty of fishing tiles and what have you. Yeah. Or I could also go over here. We've got a pretty nice volcano. We've got some more bananas, fresh water, and then another geothermal, which will give us adjacency bonus for a campus if we want to do that. I'm so used to going science. I do think I want to go culture this game. So, but I'm have to continually fight myself not to, do what I'm used to, do what I've done before. Trying to decide here. You do want to be careful, especially early game. Like this city, although it would be really kind of a fun one to do, and could maybe do like Mausoleum of Halicarnassus, which gives you a bunch of production and science and other things on these benefits on these various coastal tiles that are in the ocean, the shallow water, basically. It's called coastal tiles. You also want quite a bit of land in your first couple of cities, so I think we might go over here. I think this area I'm going to be able to settle later with not any problems. I'm worried that there's somebody, up here. So, oops, a little misclick there. And, oh nice, we got a village, okay. Can be a little bit hard to get to, but I think I will send them over there. Oh, do I need to turn this music off? I don't know if this is, don't get in trouble. Oh, did I not confirm that? It's still on. There we go. And, yeah, I think we're not going to overthink it. We're going to pump out some settlers and just keep going. Oh, there's somebody. Got some borders down here. Ooh, bioluminescent bay. That's cool. There are actually a lot of these in the world, a surprising number. If there might be one near you, but they're really cool. If anybody's ever been, worth looking up a YouTube video for. Oh, Crater Lake. Okay, man. Finding plenty of wonders. This is the nice thing about playing as Coupe is you find everything first. Really easy to get that era score. Ah, Simone. Great. Okay, cool. I thought I was like, oh, it is Peninsula. No, it's not. All right, so we got an island, and then we got Simone over here. We'll try to send him a delegation. I think maybe I missed him. Maybe we met him last turn. If you don't send a delegation immediately, they will typically not go for it, especially on Deity. Deity, one of the problems with Civ 6 is that when you're playing on Deity, like the harder difficulties, a lot of what they do is basically the AI judges like how much stronger am I than this person, and if I'm much stronger, then I'm just going to attack them because that's the best thing to do, and it frankly can be a little bit annoying. I kind of wasted some movement with this guy. Like I'm not going to be continually exploring. That's kind of my mistake there. Could probably either keep going, but that's fine. Oh, that was a mistake. Well, send him over here. I think we're going to go back. Let's culture bomb this. See if we can do something over here as well. Normally, just kind of for those who are maybe a little bit more new to Civ and to Civ 6 in particular. Oh, there's another one. These like villages here are just like goodie huts. They give you swag. But normally when you're playing, you want to get at least 2 cities down in the first era. The kind of turns are based on era, and you can also see that in your tech tree here. We have the ancient era, classic era, and all the way on. Sorry, this scroll on this is really jerky. All the way to the future era, we have industrial era, and so on and so forth. You get giant death robots. Apparently that's in our near future in the information age here, is giant death robots. I hope we're all looking forward to that IRL. All right, trying to decide where to go. I mean, I already kind of posted up here. I probably could crowd Lahore and then leave a little bit more room for another city over here and still be on fresh water. And I kind of want to do that now that I've already wasted a turn, but that's okay. Not a big deal. So I think we'll do that, and we'll plan another city over here. I think kind of talking and playing, I'm not doing the best job of both right now, but it is what it is. So I am just going to continue to kind of power out settlers, I think, here. I want to make sure that... Like, I'm tempted to just crowd Simone because I can. Like, drop a city, like, right here or something. Leave him very little room to actually, like, get to me and do much damage. And that will make sure that that city starts to grow now and that I don't have to worry about it being too small, because what will happen is if they have a large population here and if his capital is someplace near, these minuses tell you can actually lose loyalty. So if you build a city, so if I built a city right here, I would lose it very rapidly to Simone, since he has another city here and he has this one here. So it also creates border tension as well if you build a city too close to your opponent. Oh, that's not good. Okay, well, I think we're going to go ahead and build a couple quadrines. That's going to be a problem. So this is a Barim. This is from the Barbarians clan mode. It allows you to interact with these in a different way, and you can see there's a Barine here. This is actually the specialty unit for another civilization. And what it allows you to do is them to spawn them, but it also allows you to create them if you would like. So we're going to lose this settler unless we do this. So I think that's what we're going to do. And then that's a quadrine. So I think we're just going to move forward and attack it. We might have to make a tactical retreat. Is that really worth buying? I mean, it's it's worth buying because what's going to happen, I think we'll farm it, or we'll build a fishing boat, and then we'll immediately just trade this. So that exclamation says he's offering us everything he's got at the moment. So if we waited a little bit, maybe we could get a little bit more out of him, but I'm pretty happy with 14 gold per turn. That's going to pay this back in 2 turns, basically. So we'll be in good shape. Yeah, we'll see how this combat goes. Oh, look, that's nice. We'll go ahead and take that guy out and keep going. So we'll get this quadrine. This allows you to shoot missile ranged attacks, so I'll just plant him here and then go ahead and keep attacking. Might move. The barbarians, when they build next to the coast, oftentimes they just spawn tons of units. And by the fact that I bought this unit will also cost this to spawn even more units. So I'm kind of making the problem worse for myself, but I'm okay with that right now. So that got a chuckle out of my wife. Early game, barbarians can be a real problem for a lot of people. They're honestly kind of out of control. There's add-ons that will nerf them. I found that even some of the nerfed barbarian add-ons aren't enough. So learning how to deal with them is pretty important. Oh yeah, I should also let's look at this unit, and we'll also see I forget whose unit it is. I forget her name. I remember who it is, but I don't remember the name. So it's a very high melee strength. It replaces the upgrades to the Caraval. Okay. Yeah, still very high combat strength. I think it's normally 20. So they just have a crazy high combat strength is the main thing. Replaces the galley, increased combat strength and movement. Trader units are immune to being plundered if they're within 4 tiles of this. Okay, that's really nice. And it belongs to Phoenicia, it looks like. So we can go to them and see. Dido is their leader. They have, I think their specialty unit is, it's a harbor district, and they can pump out settlers. It gives them like 50% reduced cost on settlers. So if you ever want to play, honestly, kind of the style of game that I'm playing right now, where you just send out a ton of settlers, she's a great leader to pick. All right. Chat's cracking me up here. I think, I think we're good. I think we'll just keep going here. What do we want to do in this new city? Man, we got a ton of production. We are going to need some food pretty quickly. Unfortunately, I didn't look too well. We don't really have a whole lot, so we really need to get out to this, get this fish going. We'll have that done in a second. I'll go ahead and buy it now. But we've got a builder on the way. That'll help us a little bit. I'll have to make sure that they're working this tile. And then, yeah, this city is going to be a bit food starved. I should have paid a little bit more attention, but that's okay. What do we want to build here? We could probably throw down a decent campus here. There's not really missing out on anything. I like a little science early, so we'll just go ahead and do that. There is a little bit more efficient stuff that I could be doing as well, just to point it out here where I'm kind of like not being most optimal or what have you. With like this warrior, like I know that he's here. There's probably not going to be too many goody huts here, so I should probably head like a different direction and not really worry. I know where he's at. That's good enough. I can come back later and get more information, but I'm also not too worried about it right now. I'm going to go ahead and move this scout. I would just hop in the water and make him run around, but I want to have him take out this barbarian camp before too long. And so I just got a couple turns. The quadrine's done. I'll move it up there and then take it out. I'm just ships can't heal typically just by default outside of your territory in Civ 6, so that's why he's over there. I think we're going to go ahead and just move and settle right here on top of that geothermal district right next to the volcano. Normally, I'm very much like almost like a SimCity type player. I want to plan out my cities perfectly, and I'll spend like 5 minutes being like, okay, if I put a city here, then I could do, I could put like maybe this could be a national park here, and then I could use this tile and just decide every single little thing that I'm going to do. Again, not because it's necessarily even always the most optimal, because I think it's the most fun. I'll try not to do that this game just because we're streaming. Want to keep moving things along. Yeah, so we can see he's all down here. So we're not going to run into any goody huts, but I'm just going to keep doing it. Another thing you can do as Coupe that's kind of like a high risk, high reward kind of thing is that since you do get a free builder, is you use two of, I already passed the mark. You use two of his charges and then you just run around with him until he gets captured or something else happens. That's kind of the best, most optimal thing to do with him, honestly. Cool. We got our quadrine done. Yeah, cool. We'll send that up here. We'll send our Breen up as well because we know we got one. Perfect. And for this, I usually choose... Oh my gosh, is it gone? That's so lame if it's gone. I think it's God of the Sea, I think is usually what it's called. It gives you +1 production on all of your fishing boats. And oh, it's right here, God of the Sea. It was hiding. Oh man. Just to prove I am a guy, I can't find something that's right in front of my face. Don't ask me to go to the fridge and get anything out. Is there anything you can do to, Sloth T asks, is there anything you can do to prevent volcanoes from damaging things? They're so annoying when they're next to a resource that I want to mine or something like that. There is one main thing you can do, and it's kind of only like half of a fix. Liang here. She has reinforced materials. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, and it prevents the city's improvements, buildings, districts cannot be damaged by environmental effects. So it will help with both volcanoes and just in general. So that is kind of nice, but it's only one person. So if you really are super annoyed by that, I would consider changing the disaster intensity down. I think I set it on 3. I don't even know if it's here. Yeah, you can't see it. But I have this on 3, which is not the highest. 4 is like the highest for anybody who doesn't know. You can play in apocalypse mode as well. It's hilarious. You basically just don't even build next to volcanoes in that situation. But yeah, Liang is, if you have like one city that's going to work out really well, that's near a volcano, Liang's the way to go. I don't really know of any other way right offhand. I feel like there's probably something that will help, or but as far as like volcanoes specifically, nothing that I can think of. I feel like there's something though, so I feel like I'm forgetting something. Okay, cool. Glad that was helpful. All right. So the idea here, and what I typically try to do, because I'm trying to explain some optimizations, because I want to be able to play with you guys a little bit more, and you be able to drop in and have fun. And I play games a lot, so I know a lot about them. So I want to kind of do more educational stuff, so I have more people to play with, and I don't feel like I'm running the game for everybody by being overly optimized. It's just it's a bad habit I have. So I'm gonna continue to explain some stuff. So the goal in any kind of 4X game, which this is a 4X game, it stands for what is it? Explore, expand, exploit, exterminate, is to, there are different ways of doing this. This also applies to certain games that are like real-time games like StarCraft and stuff like that. You want to build, if you're not going to war, you want to build as few of war units as possible. And the reason for that is because if you're building ships, then you're not building campuses. You're not building industrial complexes. You're not building other things that are going to strengthen your empire. So it's kind of a wasted production. So if you can at all, you want to build as few of those kind of units and try to what we call macro really hard, right? We want to try to build up our cities, be really efficient and what have you. And there's like kind of another side to that as well with your money. Any kind of resource that you have that is something you can bank up, if you can spend it to get a benefit now, generally speaking, you should. you know, sometimes you want to save up for something. There's, you know, but if you don't have anything in mind, letting this build up is a disadvantage to you because you could be doing something with it now. And so, you know, if you can, you should. It's just a good idea in general. All right, so yeah, we're gonna throw down here. Tempted to like put a mine or something here. It'll give us one more production. I mean, we already got a 3-3. Hopefully we're working. Perfect. So I think we're probably just going to keep exploring with this builder. All right, similar situation here. I really don't want to stomp out any of this to throw down a campus, even though it would be nice. Don't want to throw a campus next to this volcano because it's going to be pillaged constantly, at least early game. So I think we'll probably do a builder. We could use one. It'll culture bomb and give us a few tiles. These crabs aren't really anything to write home about, but I think we could probably use it somewhere else. So that's what we're going to do. All right, awesome. So having promotions will allow you to heal 50 health outside of your territory, so that's always nice. You kind of save those for when you need them. I didn't realize we had a promotion here. Cool. Taking a promotion will end all of your movement. So, oh, Canada. All right, cool. Let's say hi to Canada. Will you let us send us? No need for our trademark gifts. Okay. All right. I see how it is, Canada. Thought you guys were supposed to be nice. Canada, this is one of my problems with Civ 6. And I don't know anything about Wilfred here historically. But in general, like, you know, Canadians being nice is like so well known. It's like a, you know, you could, it's a thing, right? It's almost like, you know, it's almost a meme. When you meet a Canadian who's not particularly nice, it's more odd than it's just so typical. It's so what you see. So it's really weird when you see like Canada and you think of like, oh, this is not really a super warmongering nation, and then all of a sudden like they are completely warmongery and they're just building encampments and building troops and like coming to attack you. All right, so we're just going to heal up to full, and then we'll go exploring some more. Oh my gosh, we're getting more, more units. I think I'm just going to attack once. He's going to attack me and do a lot of damage, but I think that makes this guy weak enough that I can maybe kill him with the scout and then not have to worry about it because I'm kind of just treading water over here. And honestly, like doing what I'm doing with this barbarian is kind of a waste of time. I really want to be exploring more and meeting city-states first. If you meet city-states first, you get an envoy. I only know one. That's really bad as Coupe. I normally have a lot more than that. One of the things we can do, since we are Coupe, with Liang, so like this tile here, we could build, well, any tile we can, but she has a specialty aquaculture. You can build fisheries improvements. So this gives you extra food on that tile, and it's +1 for each adjacent sea resource, and then just +1 in general. And then if she's actually in the city that's there, so she has to be there to build them, but then you can move her somewhere else. While she's there, it also gets +1 production. So what that means is this 1 food, 1 gold tile would be turned into, would add +3 food total, so that would be 4 food, and then while she's in the city, it'll actually give you 1 production. So that's, again, our capital, you know, our land here in our capital is really great. Our sea on our capital is less desirable than typically I would go for with Coupe. But some of these tiles over here, like we get the same thing, so we can get a lot of food going on, which is what this builder can be really good for. So I think that we'll go with Liang in this situation. Pangala is also a really good governor to choose, and the reason for that is because this connoisseur and research are both really good. They give you +1 science, +1 culture. So as long as you have decently sized cities, you can see that, you know, we're only getting 6 science and 4 culture right now, and our capital has 4 people in it. So it would literally double our culture if we chose that improvement or that promotion. But yeah, we'll go with Liang. I think we want to do it over here to start out with. because I don't think we got a whole lot going. I mean, we got one spot in our capital, but we've got plenty of land tiles to work as well. Okay, this is going to take 50% of our health. It's pretty rough, but I think we'll try it. Go ahead and bring our Breen back over. I'm tempted to just stay here and just take the promotion. I think we'll do that. You guys yell at me if I'm talking too much and not playing enough, too. I just try to explain as much as I can. Your first couple of cities, I strongly recommend you spend more time and pick better locations than I am. The first couple of cities are hugely important. Like doing something like this, what I did here, is really bad. The city is going to grow really slowly, and I should have placed literally probably any other place because you really got to get those first couple of cities up and going, and finding a better location is super helpful for that. All right, I think we're going to send this guy over. So we're going to send him over here so that when I plant this city, he could maybe improve one of these tiles. And, I mean, at this point, pumping out settlers is becoming a meme, but we're going to keep doing it. I'm scared. I'm scared if I attack, this is not going to end well. I'm going to wait. I don't want to lose that scout. On Deity, the way combat works gets a little... It's just... They can hit you and do a lot of damage, so... All right, one more hit here, and then we'll call that good. Perfect. And then we'll go back home and heal. All right. I think we're going to explore with this guy for... Well, you know what? We can go ahead and culture bomb here. And is he already in the water with that scout? Maybe he can only go in the shallows. That's still... It's a lot of tech. All right. I think we want to do a preserve right here. Let's go ahead and buy out to it. And throw it down. I forget that these tiles are horrible for us because we're not... Rainforest giving negative appeal is one of the things that I really don't like about this. That's the whole, like, you know, the RP of it doesn't quite make sense to me. Rainforests make things uglier in Civ, which I really... Ooh, and that was... I don't even know what happened over here. All right, we got attacked by a couple of galleys apparently. But the fact that rainforests make things ugly is just makes no sense to me. Pedro is the only civ in the game that it actually has the opposite effect. It gives you +1 appeal. So it makes if you're Pedro, they're appealing, but if you're not Pedro, they're apparently everybody else considers Rainforest to be ugly and hideous. I don't understand, but... All right, so the era is going to end in a handful of turns here. We've got 3 cities and a 4th on the way. That's good. Going to have to patrol the high seas. I think I'm going to put out 1 more settler, and then I'm going to build some more quadrines and just make sure that I can kind of control the sea as best I can. I kind of need to like do the math on what I can do here. So this is a -2. This will give it a +1. Taking this marsh out. I don't even know if I can clear marsh. I think I could throw a campus or something here and clear that. So that brings it up to a 0, but that's not really going to give any bonus for the preserve. I think what we're learning is that was a little bit poorly thought out, but I'll have to figure something out with it. All right, so one of the things too, one of the policy cards that you want to throw in if you're going to be pumping out a bunch of naval units is this one. Obviously, plus 100% production is pretty crazy, so we'll throw that in, and then I think we'll end up queuing up and building a handful of those. Oh, we met Namibia. I'm sorry, Namibia with a Minotaur. I think she's Namibia, right? Yeah, Nubian Empire. Sorry. So we met her. I don't know where she's actually at. Somewhere. Maybe down here? Must have met one of her units. So we saw all those barbarians, so running around with that builder loose is probably not the best idea I've ever had. So we'll want to be a little bit careful. Let me see. I think we're going to get +3. I'm not sure what all is going on here. Is that from the reef? So there's another reef. So this, I think if I clear this tile, I think there's another reef here. Although it could be here or here. I don't think it's here. It could be here. So we'll wait to throw that down. So, you know, we'll just help with the war effort and build another quadrine. I'm tempted because I'm building so many quadrines to like take a couple of cities that are on the coast, because otherwise it's kind of wasted production, and that's the most optimal thing to do. Although we were talking about like not going militaristic, so we lasted a total of 31 turns. My wife is laughing at me in the background right now. They shed first blood. That's all I have to say. All right, I think we're going to build on top of this geothermal fissure. All right, there's Toronto. Hey, golden era here. So we have a couple of options. I haven't really done anything to get a religion. So that's, I mean, this could get us a religion. It's possible. I don't really think that any of these golden era, like monumentality is amazing if you get a lot of faith early on, and can 100% be a way of just like printing out units. I do this with a lot of my builds, but we don't have hardly any faith right now, and we don't have that much gold. We are getting a decent amount of gold, so we could maybe buy 1 or 2. So that could help, or we could maybe hope that we get a religion. Let's take a look. So we've only got 1 religion founded, and then what do the great people look like here? It's actually not crazy. So I think we'll go, I feel like it's a mistake, but we'll go with Exodus of the Evangelist. We probably won't even use it. Probably should have done the other one, but that's okay. Can't take the warmongering out of the Night Harrow. You know, it's kind of true. I don't really have any real response to that, if I'm being honest. We're gonna put this guy on Explore. Why would he go this way? You can explore this way. You can explore this way. What? You give someone autonomy, and they just let you down. You know, what is he running towards? Crater Lake? We already explored all this. I mean, I get the appeal of wanting to go to Crater Lake, but makes no sense. All right, so now we're just hunting for barbarians with our, oh, there we go, with our Barine. We're living on the edge with our builder. We should probably bring him back. Yeah, okay, cool. So we do have a promotion for her. Yeah, so I should have brought him back a little bit sooner so that I could throw down the fishery, but that's okay. Fun story. I have worked on a fishing boat in Alaska and actually fished at a fishery out in the middle of nowhere. Only way to get there was by boat. We stayed out there for a couple of weeks because it was so remote, but it was a place where they farmed salmon. Debating whether or not I want to keep pumping out settlers. I mean, it's kind of always the thing to do. With a government plaza down, could make a lot of sense because that will have a government plaza down. We could then choose between a couple of buildings, and one of them would allow us to get a free builder every time we threw down a settler. I like that idea. It's only going to take a couple of turns. So I think that we'll probably do that. The question is, where do we want to throw it down at? It would probably make the most sense to just go ahead and throw it down here on top of this maze. I kind of want to build, this is like even though I know it's not optimal, I really want to like harvest this maze with a builder and then, do some other stuff. So we're going to do that anyways. Just for the sake of time, we're just going to print out another unit here and see what we can do with them. I'm running away because I want this quadrine to be able to come over here and get its first promotion on this guy. So that's what we're doing. I don't recommend doing what I'm doing, which is just like clicking something on the technology tree. You kind of want to like look, like maybe we want to go for our TOAs here, so maybe we do something like that. You want to always have a plan in mind, and if you don't, you usually want to pause, come up with a plan, and then keep going from there. We'll go ahead and throw down, we can throw down our grove. Perfect. It's upsetting that I forgot how this works. All right, cool. We got our builder. We'll go harvest some maize. We'll build a quadrine in the meantime because we're not warmongering. We just happen to be amassing a fleet of ships, Hey, there's Pedro. Just get to all these lists here. I forgot that even though there's not anybody else in the game right now, these still don't pop up on you. We would love to visit your nearby capital. Pedro is a little bit jealous of our golden age, it appears. It's okay, Pedro. It's all right, man. Also meeting some city-states. That's nice. I can't even harvest this. Really? What lets you harvest maize? Is it not? Oh, it's because I'm Coupe. Coupe can't harvest. And I can't even stomp it out? Really? All right, interesting. Well, we're throwing it there. All right, that'll be enough quadrines, I think. We'll stop after that. Maintenance 2 gold. Man, they're going to be costing us a lot. We're definitely going to have to do something with them. All right, so we got a +4 campus here. That's pretty nice. Tempted to work this for a little bit. I guess we could just buy out here and have another one. But I'm tempted to make some other stuff first, like maybe throw down a harbor, get that going, and then we'll build the science district after that. Hey, there we go. Found our barbarian friend. Well, that wasn't much XP, but I guess it's not nothing. All right. What to do? I think harbors are not a bad idea. So we'll throw one out. Here's our first fishery that we can make here. And yeah, you can see the extra. It's got two adjacency there. And then because Liang is here, we get the 1 production. All right, so we got another promotion. I don't think we really need to go with Liang anymore, so I think Pingala, or Pingala, I'm not sure how you say that correctly. I think we'll start with him. I think his tier 2 promotions are just too good not to use. We have a chance to choose a government. I'm trying to think here of what is You know, autocracy is kind of nice because it's balanced as far as what you can do with the cards. There are reasons to pick different ones for different things. Obviously, oligarchy, if you're going extremely... Oh, naval melee class units also get a +4 strength. I didn't realize that. Well, what to do? I think we're going to go with the Classic Republic. Why? I don't know. We still want production for naval units. And if we're going to do something with those naval units too, just kind of as an aside, we need to do something like yesterday. We need to go do something with them now. Otherwise, they're going to lose their real benefit from having them. I think just do that for now. Wait, did we choose the profit? I don't even remember what we chose for our golden age. Maybe I should be getting profit points. That's probably what I should be doing. We'll say Levy. We'll change it next time. So Ancestral Hall here, this is a really powerful building. It gives us a 50% production increase towards settlers, and also new cities receive a free builder. So that's what we want there. And I think we'll just keep building. Kind of want to send these ships out in pairs because barbarians just are so bad in Civ 6 sometimes. All right, let's see if we can put them on Explorer. There we go. Now you're exploring. Good job, buddy. All right, so we've got a friendly village down here. Hey, there we go. Get a little XP there. One thing you can do, so I just changed this policy card here. Your first envoy sent, you get an extra envoy. It counts as 2. So that's why I was kind of waiting on that. And then there's no suzerain of this Vatican City here. Once you get up to 3, you can become suzerain. So probably that will give it to us if we do that. Sounds like it did. And that can help us with being, I don't even know where they're at. Oh, it's here. Okay, well, I can see all this. Well, it helps to see a little bit more, so that's kind of nice. I think we'll probably just go ahead and call that explored for now, and we'll take him down here to get this goody hut. We can grab a great profit. Awesome. So that secures us a religion, although we do need a religious building before we can make use of... Who do we got? Simon Peter. I forgot to hop in Discord here, so if anybody wants to come and chat and voice. So let me just do that real quick. Sorry about that. Cool. All right. So one thing that we're going to be able to build all these harbors, and then we're going to be able to build a bunch of traders, which would be really nice. Give us a lot of gold. Gold is just kind of generally useful for, you know, doing a lot of different things. We got one city on the coast here with Toronto. We've got, looks like another one down here with Simone. The problem is that like there's only one area to be able to take anything there. I don't think we're going to be able to do much there, and I think we're only going to be able to take one city with Toronto. It looks like there's not multiple built on the coast. So if we take this city, it's just going to keep falling. We could take it and destroy it to kind of hinder Canada a little bit. That is an option, but I think we're just going to play nice for right now. I was hoping to find somebody who would be a little bit more exposed on the coast, and that didn't really happen. I think we'll send this guy down here. Now, we know there's barbs down there, so I'm going to send a couple of ships. All right, so if you can look at these and you can see that you can hire a horseman, it probably means they're mostly land-based, so you don't have to worry about them printing too many ships. If you look and you see that you can hire a galley or something like that, some sort of sea vessel, then you need to be a little bit more worried. In general, it's better to... I'm going the wrong way with the scout. In general, it's better to like micromanage your units, but there are plenty of times where I just put them on auto explore and then just send them on their way. All right, we're going to print out a couple more settlers here because we can. We have secured our religion. Let's see what we got here. There we go. We only have Catholicism. Choral music. That's actually what I wanted, so that's kind of a bummer. So not really too worried about rushing out of religion, I guess, at this point then. I should have looked before kind of choosing to go down that path, but that's all right. Bengala, we're going to go with connoisseur, I think, and then we'll go with researcher next. And we got one tile that this is improving. This is sad. It's really sad. All right, what do we want to do here? So we got 5 population, about to be 6, and we're about to be capped out. So I'm just going to build a granary there. Perfect, we got our promotion. All right, Smo wants to make a deal. He'd like some of our... Yeah, we'll do that. Thought there was 2 deals, maybe not. All right. Yeah, so we've got our first trader here. Trying to decide where we want to go. I think it's a fairly safe route. Kind of like it. We'll just go there. I meant to swap this out a while ago, and I forgot to. All right. I think it'd be really fun to throw a city right... Maybe not right there. Well, we'll see. Somewhere over there. Build another fishery. I think we'll call that good here. I'm tempted to pump out a few builders and then move her somewhere else. We'll see. We did become suzerain of Mitla, and it looks like we found a couple of, no, at least one goody hut right there. We'll audible that guy and send him over for it. All right, so we should probably get our theater district down. I just cannot believe that I didn't think about the fact that I can't do anything with this. It's been too long since I played Coupe. Theater district, these adjacencies are pretty lame, but we'll go right there. Oh, that's where I was going to build. That's where I was going to build a campus. It's all right. We'll just roll with it. That's one of the things that's kind of annoying about Civ 6 is like once you throw down a district, like you got to go back. You have to like load a save if you did it in the wrong place. Oh, wow. 10 faith. That was amazing. All right, there's Pedro. I was expecting more barbs, to be totally honest with you. I'm a little bit surprised there are not more barbs going down. Oh, there come the Catholics. One thing that, oh man, look at those settlers. One thing that people have a lot of problems with early on is that, you know, at some point the computer sends out just like a wave of like missionaries. Usually it's missionaries. It's usually not too many apostles. The way that theological combat and stuff works, if you kill these units, what'll happen is every town within, you know, X amount of spaces of them will lose that religion and will gain whatever religion won. And so what you can do early on, if you're trying to make sure that you can keep your religion, it's actually a good thing for them to send these at you. I don't know if I can, maybe we can try to make a religion here and then I can demonstrate for you guys. I think we only need a couple more population until I can build a third district in my capital, and maybe I'll do that. So this is actually like, it's really bad at first, but if you know how to deal with it, it's actually really good. It actually works out really well for you. Because instead of, and that doesn't cost you any like, you know, you only have so many charges with your apostles to like spread your religion and what have you. And so, by being able to do that, you know, it saves you from having to even use any charges. And then if you have two, you can kind of team up on one of their guys, kill it. And then if you need to, you just go back to your holy district and you can heal up there. That's like the only place you can heal your religious units, unfortunately, but it works out pretty well. So we want a little bit more gold production just so we can do whatever we want with it. Obviously we do want these amenities, but we're +3 in our capital, +3 kind of everywhere. So I think we could still trade away some of these amenities and be just fine. Looks like it doesn't really matter. Wait, what's going on here? Why does it say view deal? Oh, did he already? Oh my gosh. Okay, he's going to offer us a work of writing. I guess he was already offering it to us. Okay, yeah, we'll take that. That's crazy. That's a little bit broken. I won't complain. Again, it's been a while since I have played Coupe, so normally, you know, you want to have at various different stages, you want to have something that you're kind of building towards. Like maybe you want to build towards caravels. Not a bad idea. If we got some caravels and then some maybe even frigates, we could definitely go start like, so we need niter for that. We could definitely go start taking some cities some coastal cities if we wanted. Not sure if we want to, but we built all these ships for nothing, apparently. I thought there was going to be barbarian problems because they're often really bad. And then I thought we were going to find some more people along the coast, which we also did not. So, oh, forgot to do anything different with this guy. So this isn't, the bioluminescent bay isn't actually showing as a reef, which might be a bit, that's kind of weird. Oh, it appears as a reef. Okay, so never mind, it does. I'm debating on going over here is basically what I'm trying to decide. This is the kind of thing that I would like spend way too long thinking about if I wasn't streaming. This would just be a +4 campus, which is nice, but also being able to use this area, and also be able to reach. Like I can reach this pearls, be able to build on these 2 tiles. I can't reach this fish, obviously. I guess we're just going to go ahead and go on the stone. All right, so we're heading into a dark era. I'm actually really okay with that. Not really a problem. I'm actually, if I settle here, this will give me era score for being this close to it. So I think I'm going to wait a couple of turns, and we'll try to go a dark era, and then we'll try to get into a golden age after that, which are really fun. Golden Age, instead of being able to pick one of those bonuses for your era, you'll be able to pick 3 of them. And that can be... we'll maybe get a religion going. And what we can do is one of the options for getting... Well, never mind. I'll just show you in a couple of turns. Okay, so Mare. I'm so bad at pronouncing Maori words. I have a friend who corrects me all the time, and I appreciate it, and I wish he was here to do so now. You guys feel free to correct me in chat. Cool. So, oh yeah, finally we get to switch this, since I forgot to a while ago. That would have only been on for like a turn, maybe 2. So that's really nice. You can swap this on, especially when you know you've got a couple of things that are about to complete. Complete one, swap it on, send out the delegation. So like I should now... so we got 2 envoys there, which is really nice. And then just swap it back out. So you're getting influence, which will give you more envoys. That's what you want to do there. Cool. So we don't need any more naval districts, 100% adjacency for holy sites. This is a really powerful one if you've got a lot of really good, adjacency bonuses from holy sites. Let me see here. Cool. Nothing else is really screaming to me. We're probably going to build a few builders, so this could be helpful for a few turns. Nothing is really jumping out at me as like, oh, we should definitely grab that thing. You know, having some TOAs if we're gonna go to war would be helpful too, so that we can do both land and sea. Okay, so we're at turn 50 here. And we've got another era going on. I'm tempted to kind of just be like, cool, because I think where most people struggle is like the first like 50 turns and just kind of like learning what to do. It's the end of the second era. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cities. They could have been better, but they're pretty good. And then we've got a 6 ready to go down. And in all honesty, like we could just start printing out settlers and just every single place you can. Like it looks like this whole continent, no one lives here besides AI, so we could throw down a bunch of cities there. This is a little bit like OP of a map for Kupe, as far as like being able to just throw cities down. I mean, look at all these fish here. This is kind of crazy. You could build several cities, like build one up here, a little bit further down, and just get all of this. It's kind of crazy. But I think this is like a really good start for Kupe. And you can kind of do whatever you want. Like we weren't super efficient with what districts we're building and what direction we're going. Like I totally forgot how, that rainforests are ugly to most people. I've been playing too much, of Pedro, but I think this is a good spot. I am tempted to kind of show how you can do the religious stuff, but I also think we could maybe do that in another game where we went more directly for religion. So we might just kind of pause it here once I just show a few other things. Just set these guys to explore, kind of own the seas at this point. But do you guys have anybody in chat have any strong feelings one way or the other? Like to see somebody else, just kind of the start, since Coupe is so weird. Could do somebody that's a little bit more normal. Do you have any strong feelings? We take a couple more turns. Okay, cool. So we got our dark era here. So this is what I was talking about. Exodus of the Evangelist. So you get a +2 era score each time you convert a city to your founding religion for the first time. So since we don't have one, and we haven't founded a religion yet, excuse me, we've got those 6 cities. Pretty easy to, get 12 era score, which will pretty much guarantee us a golden era the next time. And a golden era, I'm sorry, I should have not clicked that yet. But instead of getting one of those options, you get 3 of them. You get to pick 3. So it's kind of crazy. So that's one way you can kind of, I don't want to say cheese, but yeah, you can kind of optimize, I guess. It is a little cheesy, I guess, if you did it intentionally, to be able to get like those golden eras and what have you. I love, this is like one of my favorite, being able to culture bomb, 100% one of my favorites. Religious combat strength, it's unfortunate we don't even have a religion yet. We'll condemn the heretics. Yeah, so I don't know. I think that kind of explained everything pretty well. So looks like no one's chiming in. So I think we're gonna say we're gonna call this here. I will save it, I guess, if we want to come back to it. No one's also dropped in, so it's just us. And then we'll call it for now. So now I guess the question is, who should we play with? I think we should play with a Civ that's a little bit more normal. That doesn't start in the ocean, just to give everybody kind of an idea of how to do those first handful of turns. Do the same thing here. Disaster intensity, we'll leave it at online. Still stick with the continents and islands. Large map. Barbarian clans modes. Monopolies and corporations. Yeah, I guess we can play with secret societies, sure. And then we'll go over here. And we'll throw some civs in the game that I know my wife might drop in. She might want to play one of these guys, depending on what has happened. Make sure it's not somebody I decide to go to war with or something. Who else would be fun? We'll leave the rest on. Just kind of random. So why don't we try Pachacudi? I feel like he's a pretty good one. Pachacudi is a really good civ to kind of learn how to do the early game. You kind of get like a boost because he can build these terraced farms, which give you a bunch of food and potentially a little bit of production. You have really defensive your scout unit, your special unit there. I have no idea how to say that. Warak, I don't know. Those guys, they can attack twice. They're slingers, so they're considered a scouting unit though. So they work really. They can only attack the space directly adjacent to them. But if they're in your city center or something like that, they can just do a ton of damage, being able to attack twice and stuff like that. So you can really be very defensive with him if you kind of expand early, since you have plenty of food and a little bit of extra production, and just having more people gives you more production. So he's kind of a nice one to like really get that early game going on, and then you can kind of dial it back a bit by playing other civs that maybe aren't as good at that kind of thing. All right, cool. I think I'm just gonna refresh my tea here. So I'm just going to kick you guys to a commercial for a second. I know that some of you who don't, or don't have like, or have like YouTube, like premium or whatever, well, I know it won't kick you to a commercial, but I'll be back in just a moment. after these messages from our sponsors. All right, look at the start location. Cool, we got a note here. Okay, it looks like we used just the default placement. Great. Man, this is a good start. Certain civilizations have more of a predisposition to a particular area or type of area. With Pachacuti, you're always going to be in the mountains. Every once in a while, you get like a really bad start where you have like one mountain that threw you there. I usually would just hit, like you just got to re-roll that. Typically, that's probably the best thing to do in that situation. I don't really want to go right where I'm at. This is that whole like, it might be fine, might be just as efficient or whatever. I would prefer to go somewhere else though and probably chop down this forest and then throw a terraced farm here. I used to, and I still kind of a lot of times, because our terrace farms will get a +1 production, or actually, I'm sorry, +2 production for an aqueduct. And they get +1 if they're next to a river, but they don't get both. So if I threw down, let's say I threw down a city here, threw down an aqueduct here, this would only get +2. So it already gets +1 from the river. It would just get another +1. This one would get +2, which normally it wouldn't get anything. So I used to plan to try to like maximize where that is. Honestly, it's not really that big of a deal as Pachacuti, especially now that we have the preserves, which are so nice and give you two extra food to all adjacent tiles, 2 faith, 2 culture. Yeah, so I don't know. It's just not as big of a deal. And then oftentimes, like, yeah, you'll get a couple extra production here. It's usually better to optimize for throwing down a really good industrial complex. So like, maybe I build an aqueduct here, industrial complex here, and then maybe I have another city here and there's another aqueduct or something. That's usually better to do. Or obviously over here, we got some floodplains and stuff like that. So just keep that in mind. Although the bonus from the aqueduct is kind of nice, it's not anything crazy. Another thing that they get is these mountain paths, which are crazy because they let you basically, as long as you can see along the entire mountain range, this is broken up right here, but if I could see this, you could put one here and put one here, and you can instantly move in one turn from here to here. So it's really great early game for certain things. The problem is if you build a path there, you will not be able to improve that tile with things like with the preserve or the grove. And I honestly find in most situations I end up not wanting to use them. And so I really wish they would kind of change it so that you could build a path there, but it could still get improvements. I feel like that's kind of an issue. You know, when they first existed, like it wasn't a thing. The other issue is you get it really early, but usually you don't have enough builder charges that you want to spend on a path to be able to use them. But like second, third era, if you're doing some sort of combat or want quick troop movements or something even for defense, it can be very helpful. Okay, so yeah, we could go here. I think we want to go here though, because I think right here or maybe here is where I want to. I think probably here is where I'm actually going to want to throw down our preserve, and it'll give bonuses to all these tiles around. You don't need to get, getting a full like 6 tile bonus from the preserve is like obviously super nice, but it's definitely not a requirement, and I wouldn't stress it too much. At the beginning of the game, I don't know if I talked about this because we play kind of an odd civilization. That's kind of a mistake playing Kupe to start off with. But usually with your build order here, basically what you want to do is build 2 units of some sort. If you're playing, so I'm playing Pachacudi, my scouts are my specialty unit in the second era, and I can't upgrade these scouts to them. So I typically, as Pachacudi, will always go two scouts. I think that because I think that I tend to go with 2 scouts in most situations, but you can also go with like a scout and a slinger or even a warrior or something. But basically, there's reasons to do pretty much most things, but generally speaking, you want to go with 2 units and then a settler is what you want to do. And then go ahead and get that settler out somewhere in there. Maybe sometimes you can do a builder. It kind of depends what you're doing. With Pachacudi, sometimes I will actually go with a builder, and because your terrace farms are so good. So like if I threw one here, it would add 3 food and 1 production. Which would make this a 4-3 tile, which is pretty crazy. And similarly, I could throw another one down here. I could chop this chop this forest to get out a scout kind of quicker. So I'll actually show you how to do that. I kind of go back and forth. I don't actually think this is often the best thing to do. I think it's still usually better to go with the scouts. But I think there's an argument to be made that this works really well. The problem is that, like, even if you're only a turn or 2 behind on scouts, depending on what kind of map size you're playing and how many AI there are and what have you, that 1 or 2 turns can be the difference between getting a friendly village and not. So that's why it's such a big deal. Since we do want to chop this forest, we want to go with mining to start off with. And then a lot of people ask about, like, hey, what's the best way to, explore early on? What do you want to do? My general advice is choose the tile that will reveal the most, and if you just always do that, you'll be in a pretty good situation pretty much always. I think that tea is done steeping. Let me go grab that real quick and I'll be right back. Actually, I think someone's going to grab that for me. Apparently dropped a Splendor wrapper in my tea. My wife is noticing. Oh, no, the Lyriel, the last game went fine. We went to turn 50, and I kind of just wanted to explain kind of some of the early game, because I think that is where a lot of people kind of go off. So I just want to kind of explain it. I think we're doing just fine. Like, we kind of had an open map and could do whatever we wanted. So just wanted to show a more normal start, and I thought Pachacudi would be a good one. Okay, so we got our builder out. We'll go ahead and start pumping out a couple of scouts. The main thing you don't want to do is end up building 3 or even 4 units before you start pumping out settlers. It will just set you too far back as far as era score and everything else. It'll just end up being not great for you typically. I also think that it's a little bit playing on like the very fast speeds like we are, like we're playing on online speed right now. I think it can cause a problem because it's like, oh, well, this is, 3 turns and this is 2 turns. When you play on slower speeds, it'll be like, oh, this is 10 turns and that's 15 turns. Okay, well, they're the same, it's the same amount of production difference, and you can see it's actually 17 and 20, so it's different. But it just gives you a better idea of, like, it's more granular, and I think it makes it more clear how these decisions matter, because when they're all so short, it kind of feels like, it doesn't really matter what you do, when in fact it's actually pretty crucial. Another thing I tend to do as Pachacooty, which a lot of people will not do, is go with the double experience for recon units. And I actually do this a lot of times with all of my units if I'm going double scout. And the reason for that is because, and then we always choose God King because we need the faith so we can unlock a Pantheon quickly. But the reason I do that is because, getting that first promotion can happen pretty quickly. Oh, there's Molly. Molly's got a couple of settlers running around. That's it's interesting. Interesting. Anyways, getting that first promotion so that your scouts can move that much quicker can be a pretty big deal, to be totally honest with you. The other thing is that early on, a lot of people find problems with the AI. My solution to problems with the AI early on is to go to war with them and to snag one of their units. I do that. I cannot tell you how often I do that, and it almost always works. I know that seems weird, but it does. So he's not moving his settler. I wonder if they want to go here. Another thing you can do to kind of mess with the AI, and I think this is valid gameplay, I don't think this is really cheese, is keep your units close to theirs and let there's something in the AI that makes them think that, like, oh, maybe it's not a good idea to wander over in front of this guy because he might snag my settler. And it actually works pretty well. But the other thing you can do is when you start an early war, and they're just sitting there now, they don't know what to do. When you start an early war is, oh man, look at that spot. That would be another great, you could throw a campus here, right? +5 campus would be pretty crazy, but you could also, if you wanted to go that science, but you could also throw a preserve right there, and that would be kind of crazy for all those tiles around. But if you grab their builder or some other unit pretty early on, and then keep them kind of distracted, right? Like, don't lose your unit, but at the same time, keep them fighting over in their area. You can, generally speaking, kind of wait out the timer to be able to make peace. And especially, like, considering how far we are here, this is pretty far. I think I have a game actually recorded that maybe I'll show where I basically did that, and I declared war on like several people. And the penalties for declaring war early on are not that bad. And so you can kind of do it and get away with it a bit. Okay, so now we're going to do this properly. We've got our first settler. We want to make sure that we put this in a good spot. Now, obviously, there's just the normal things to consider, but we're playing Pachacooty. And as we can see from these terrace farms, they can be hugely advantageous to us. That's a pretty nice tile right there to be able to start the game with. So we want to make sure. Hey, Paul, what's going on? Dude, it's been forever. So we want to make sure that we can throw it down in a place where we can throw down some terrace farms. So right here, that's next to fresh water, and a mountain that's next to fresh water. So that gives us 1 production, 1 food. So that might be a good spot. Let's see what we reveal here. But we want something pretty close to our city center and not something we're going to have to wait a really long time. So I kind of like going maybe here and then planning on throwing down an aqueduct here. That could work. So this is a case that I was talking about earlier. So if we went here and we threw down an aqueduct here, we get a plus, an extra couple production to these 2 tiles. if we went here and put an aqueduct this way, we don't get to boost any of our terrace farms, but then we could also put, either here, a dam, and then we could throw down a really hooked up industrial complex, and that's going to be much better. The other thing is if we throw it here, we can immediately own these tiles. We don't have to buy out to them. So I think that's the best thing to do. So I think that's where we're going to go. And then because we are Pachacooty, I'm going to build another builder, and I'm going to send it out just to get the city boosted. And then I'm going to save that builder, and wherever I send my third city, I'm going to also send them over there. Just because getting that first tile improved as Pachacooty is going to give you a huge advantage early on. All right. So one of the things you can do is try to like zone out your opponents. Oh my gosh, he's got more settlers. And just try to pick up one where you can, get in his way as best you can. So that's kind of all I'm trying to do right now. I don't want him settling towards me. Honestly, he's plenty far away. It looks like this is going to be maybe France, and they're kind of in the mountains. So that's unfortunate, but... Okay, so a couple things as Pachacooty that we can do here. So this is where we unlock our specialty unit, these skirmishers. The other thing is that, and I think a lot of people don't realize this just because it's such a weird style of play. I think somehow I can see the upgrade path, right? Clicking on one of these things? No? I thought you could see the upgrade path somehow. Maybe we can use the Civipedia. The third production on a scout. I don't actually know how to pull that up. Well, I guess we'll see it in a second. But the third production on your scout unit will give it a... You can choose, if you make sure you go down the tree the right way. It can give you a plus 20 to their attack. And so what that turns your scouts into, these specialty units, is instead of a 20 melee strength and a 40 ranged, it's 40 and 60. And then so they get a strength 60 attack, and they can do it twice per turn. Well, if you look at other units of this era, knights are only 50, right? And then you gotta look musketmen 55. Like you got to go pretty deep. Bombardier unit. I think there should be. I think you unlock, obviously, the crossbowman, which is a strength 40 at the same time, which is what this is. So I'm trying to think, like, how far do you have to go down this tree? Oh, yeah, here we go. Ballistics. Yeah, you got to go to a field cannon to be able to match, and you can attack twice in a turn. Now, what'll happen is that if they get knights, they can start one-shotting your guys from like 5 tiles away because they have a lot of movement, and they can kind of charge in and kill you pretty quickly. So that does become a problem, but you can do a lot of crazy things with kind of cheesing those promotions on these guys. You can also go for something like the Terracotta Army, which gives all of your units a free promotion. A lot of times the AI does not go for this, so you can get the first couple of promotions, which are easier to get, and then on the third one, be finishing the Terracotta Army, and it can be pretty broken. So, or maybe not broken. It can just be very good. And then if you do that, you kind of want to, you'll need 3 archers, so you'll probably want to unlock archery, so you make sure that is boosted. And then the deeper into the tree, the more important it is that you get the tech boost, and so on and so forth. I don't always build ancient walls. I don't always boost all of these just because I don't have the time in production. It just doesn't make sense, but that is something that you can do. And let me show you something with our holy sites too. We'll play around with that this game. All right, so we got our builder out. We'll go ahead and build another settler. Oh, yeah, so Molly is just going to give us this. Oh, no, I don't know. If I want to snag this settler so bad, but if I do, I think he's just going to kill me with his 2 warriors. What do you guys think? Should I grab this settler? Should I try? I don't think it's going to work out, but should I try? If I wouldn't have gotten attacked this turn, I would 100% have done it. I want that settler. Settler looks so good. Oh, look at these guys. Oh man, it's going the wrong way. I can't grab it now. Well, they're trying to give me the settler at least. That seems nice of them. I feel like they're going to throw it down here in a second. All right, we met Eleanor. And somehow my tea has magically appeared in front of me. Thank you, Mrs. Haro. Kind of want to place it here. I don't know. I think that's a mountain, but we need animal husbandry, so we might just wait a turn or two. As Pachacooty, you can never go wrong building settlers or builders early on, and actually traders can be kind of nice too. One of the things with our traders, basically for each mountain tile in the starting city, you get +1 food. So +1 food. Oh no, that's the terrace farm. There it is. It's down here. Yeah. So this is kind of, no, that's not it. It's up here. Jeez. Okay. +1 food for every mountain tile in the original city. So you're, you know, with Pachacooty, so you got to think that eventually my capital is going to have 3, 6, 7, 8. So this would be +8 food just for sending a trade route from my capital eventually, once it's like maxed out on its size. If I build like here or here, so I can build another preserve, you're going to end up with the same thing where there's just a ton of tiles. So it's a huge amount of food that you can get, and you don't have anybody working it. It's just because you have a trader. What's going on with Molly? Molly's still running around with that builder? I had a game, and I'm so glad I was recording because I wanted to do kind of like a build guide on it. But it was just absolutely nuts where I was surrounded by, oh man, basically everybody. And I was surrounded like on all sides. I think I only got like 3 cities out, and then I was like completely hemmed in, where I got to, I'll be putting that out I think soon, because it was a really good example of being able to just go to war. Just attack them, take their stuff, just do it, and things end up working out surprisingly well. A lot of times, though, what I do is I wait until, you know, they've got a builder or something that you can pick up. I don't just declare war for no reason. It's usually to snag a builder, to snag a settler, or something else. And it's weird how defensive it makes you, because they go to try to take that unit back, or you run the opposite way from your capital, and then it just distracts them for long enough that it's not an issue. Deciding here, I think another builder might be an okay idea. All right, well, we're not going to get to steal Molly Settler. Molly is another really fun civ that you can play with. They have really interesting like bonuses. So they actually get +1 food and +1 gold for every desert tile around them, which makes it, I'm sorry, +1 faith and +1 food. I don't think they get gold. So it makes them for a really interesting civ. And then you can choose the desert god, which allows you to get +1 adjacency bonus for every desert tile for your holy sites. So you can get like you could throw it here or any number of spots and get like +6, and then obviously you can, or maybe not obviously, but you can double that with scripture here. So it's a +12 campus, and you can get just silly amounts of faith going on from them. And then you just do that with, like, you build all around the desert, build a bunch of holy sites, and it can be quite silly. It's a fun play style. I'll say that. All right, let me get that animal husbandry. See about throwing something here. A note about this scout. I don't know where he's coming from. I assume probably over here. The fact that he's seen my city, and then if he goes back to his barb camp, if he makes it back, they will start spawning a bunch of units and come over here. I honestly should probably be, one could argue I should be a little bit more concerned about that than I am currently. But just realize that's a thing, and that's something that if you kill this scout, keep him from returning to his camp or what have you, you can prevent getting so many issues with barbarian camps. So now I have a choice. I want to go either, early empire, right? Or, probably I should have beelined it, either gone straight for early empire or straight for workforce. Early empire, getting this boosted is kind of a given with Pachacooty. So that's not really a big deal. The reason I'd want to go with the government plaza is, again, so I could build, once you unlock your some form of government, you can build the a building inside of your government plaza. I don't know why it's not showing it. I wonder if I could pull it up on the Civipedia. Yeah, your first building, is it the Foreign Ministry? No. Must be the other one. These are not in order. That's the problem. Okay. There's a building you can build that we just talked about a second ago. Ancestral Hall. That must be it. Extra production, and then again start with a free builder. You can see as pumping out already a few builders to be able to do this. That's hugely advantageous to Pachacooty. So you can go ahead and throw down very quickly and get those cities growing like super fast. So. Hey, there we go. There's a free builder for us. All right. Not an amazing spot for a holy site anywhere. There's probably something better I could do here, because building adjacent, like on flat territory and next to your capital, there's a couple of like wonders that really want that. I could also build them here, I suppose. But +1, we'll just throw it down. We're not too worried about it right now. When I'm playing like not on stream or whatever, I SimCity. Like I spend forever. Like, okay, I could put here. If I do this differently, I could get an extra +1. It's entirely unnecessary, but it's just kind of how I enjoy playing, if I'm being honest. All right, so we got a Pantheon. As Pachacooty, you can pretty much always go with Earth Goddess if you can get it. I now realizing they have that AI add-on, I feel like I need to turn it off and confirm that, because it used to be the computer always took this. But it can be really nice because all of these mountain tiles, once you have them, will get that bonus. So that can be really nice. It's kind of just a go-to. Other than that, if you have camps, that can be really nice, because what you'll want is Pachacooty is more production. Oftentimes, obviously, you're having plenty of food, so you'll need just more production any way you can get it. God of Craftsmen, also a good way to get that extra production. I know that a lot of like streamers will go for the like free settler or builder or something like that. I basically never do those, because I just go for like the longer term, I guess. But it is not that it's not good. It's just not what I usually do. So we're just going to go with Earth Goddess, I think. All right, we'll see how this goes. Oh man, there's another one. She wants to give us 2 builders. That's what I'm understanding. Is that what you guys are picking up on? Yeah, I think we'll just go here. I think that's fine. Oh man, look at that. That's just begging. Might have to put a reserve there instead. I mean, a +6 campus is pretty crazy as well. We'll do something there. I mean, I guess we could also do a +6 holy site. Man, yeah, what to do? What to do? I kind of want to show off a couple of things because I don't think we're gonna have time to really finish this game. So maybe we'll throw this here, just to kind of show it off. I feel like that's a huge waste because we're gonna get a lot of production and stuff from this tile, but I really like throwing. Since we can work all the mountain tiles, throwing like a preserve there is kind of crazy. Okay, so we've got our trader. We're gonna go ahead and move it over here since we already own a couple of tiles. Let's see, we're getting +1 faith for all those tiles. I think we'll harvest that stone and then we'll throw a terrace farm there. We are going to move these guys to relative safety, and then we'll see if we can't pillage something over there. We want to get this guy to his next upgrade. One more hit should do it, so we'll just rest him and then go at least hit that slinger again. Probably kill the slinger. All right, so we've got our holy district here. Oh, there's a volcano there. Well, this is for I would never do this long term, but just to make a point, we'll do it. So just to be clear, I would never recommend doing this. All right. Go ahead and explore. I think we'll just rest for a second. I'm playing a little bit fast and loose with the scout. If I'm not careful, I could easily lose him. But it's a risk I'm willing to take. Well, there might not be much else we can do down there, but we got a free builder. Got a couple charges on a builder. All right, so that's great. We can't actually build the building in our government plaza until we unlock our government. So in the meantime, we'll just build an extra settler. We're extremely defensible here. Obviously, we only have one space they can even come through, and I don't think she's even interested in coming through. So probably what we'll do is we'll just wait a few more turns, 2 turns, and then we'll make peace. Go and build our shrine here. Did I build a shrine in our capital? Yeah, cool. Get another promotion here. And that's why we like Pingala, because obviously these guys are doing quite well in their science and culture, and we got to do what we can to keep up. So we have 3 cities, and we're about to be at the end. Normally, I would really want 4. So we're a little bit behind, but we have played around and we are building some of these districts that I'd normally. We probably would have done this a little bit differently, but probably we build one too many builders and probably should have built one more settler, but that's okay. And then also I'm like why am I researching this? I'm just clicking buttons. Let's head this way. So if you think about it, this is what I was talking about a while ago. A lot of times as Pachacooty, you can get in a really defensible space. You've got your city center here. You can make a surround and then wait for them to step on this space, kill whatever unit that is, and then so on and so forth. And since you're always in the mountains as Pachacooty, you can quite often do that. And you really don't, you obviously wouldn't need 3 units. You could probably just keep 1. And just since you get to attack twice with your scouts, it's pretty effective. Oh no. Unit captured. Vatican City. We lost that that builder that we stole. Oh no. Oh, that's okay. Well, we're gonna go ahead and just make peace here. So be able to chop that down, which is what I want to do. We do need bronze working. We'll have that in a handful of turns. Really surprising we didn't boost bronze working. +2 error score every time we spread our religion is what we want to go with. Keep making shrines. One little lonely one-charge builder over there just living his best life. Exploring. I forgot to put that on earlier. All right. We are purchasing a lot of tiles usually. We'll throw that on. I think I'll use it. I think I'll use it right here. Oh, we're growing out. Well, we'll see. So if we move away from the mountains, we kind of lose the whole point of our build. I mean, there are plenty of good places out here, and we don't want Mansa Musa coming too close to us. But I'm also kind of interested in some of these areas over here. This looks really good, so I might take Peter's advice and throw down right there. So we want theology next. Is what we're going for. Again, the thing I'm going to show you will work with pretty much anybody who you go for religion, but what you really want is scripture. Ancestral Hall. And even if I get this settler, I won't get them there in 4 turns, but I would still wait just because the extra builder. Sometimes it's a good idea to get the settler in place, but you want to wait a few turns so you can finish that building. All right. In our other city over here, we're going to be running out of room to grow, so I might just go ahead and throw down a granary real quick. Hey, there we go. We got our profit. All right. Kind of in the same boat here. I'll just throw down a granary. Again, kind of the point is to show something here in a second, not to finish the playthrough. So I am a little bit clicking through a few things, but that's all right. All right, we've got to found our religion now. Perfect. what do we want to do here? I have no idea what the traditional symbol for the Mayan, or I'm sorry, for Pachacuti's people here are. Kind of like the turtles. We'll add in a little star flavor. Cool. So work ethic here. This is what I was kind of getting at here. Work ethic provides you, your district's faith adjacency provides bonus production as well. And I mentioned that one of the things you really need as Pachacuti is more production oftentimes. So that you can choose this as Mali, as we mentioned earlier. If you're building a +6, right, +6 faith district here, and you're building a bunch of them because you could build one here and so on, or +5 and so on and so forth. You could even double dip as Mali because you'll get, this is still desert even if you build, a government plaza or something to give it a +1, and then other districts give it another +1. So you can easily end up with like a +8 holy site district without much work. And you're going to build your Sagubas next to it because they get a bonus from being next to your holy sites. So you can end up with kind of this crazy area where you have like, +9 holy sites, if not more. There's any kind of desert wonder, that'll also give you extra bonus. And then you double that, and then you turn all of that into into production. So it ends up being like pretty crazy to go for something like that. Choral music is also really nice if you're going with the culture. It's not based on the adjacency bonus in that situation, but that can actually be really nice when you don't have super great adjacency bonus. It's just for the buildings themselves. But work ethic is pretty huge. And then after that, I wish they would group these a little bit better, but basically these like top 8, I think. Yeah. These are all buildings. So, and they're mutually exclusive. So if we choose one of these buildings now, we can't choose any of the other ones later. So one gives you +2 food, +1 housing. This one just gives you extra faith, science, and so on and so forth. Or you could choose something else. If you like, one of the best things to do, I think, is Holy Order. It reduced the cost of missionaries and apostles by 30%. And then what you can do with your apostles, and maybe we'll play long enough to show this, is that you can then, I believe it's called evangelize, and it'll let you pick another one of these beliefs. So the first one, you make them cheaper to buy so that you can buy them and pick several of the other things. So you can do it, I think, 3 times total, if I'm remembering correctly. So that's oftentimes what I'll go with. The other benefit of that is that, and if you're playing someone like Mansa Musa, well, I'll do a build on it. So we'll stick with patches. So with Pachacuti, if you really wanted to do something like that, if you really wanted to go like heavily faith focused, I would have built these holy sites earlier, and I would have made sure that it had a better adjacency bonus. So placing it here, so it's like maybe +3. This is, obviously I wouldn't place it next to a volcano, but there's other things you could do. Plan on building this government plaza, here, and then put that here. So then, it's at least, there's a lot of things you could do to get like higher adjacency bonuses. And then you turn that into production, and then you've just got like crazy high production. And then really, honestly, that just makes the rest of the game easier. You can do whatever you want then. You can create more units. You can build more, districts if that's what you're going for. You could also do wonders if that's something you're interested in. And so it works really well. So right now, like this city is just going to be, off the charts for its size and its production, right? It's already at 16. My capital is over here that is much more developed is at 17. So that's what you can do. And then if you get a golden era, you can use all that extra faith that you're going to be getting, because again, what you're going to do is go in here. We'll just unlock it. Slot. Oh, do I not have it researched? I don't have it I don't have it researched. I'm sorry. Once you get Scripture unlocked, slot that doubles it, which also doubles your production, and you can see it gets kind of crazy. That's actually what I did the other day when I was playing with some friends, and I checked with them before. I was like, "Hey, are we playing broken? Or are we playing like for fun?" And they're like, "No, we're playing like just do something broken. It's totally fine." And I was like, "Okay, cool. Check, got it." So that's how you kind of abuse theology there. Oh, nice. Got an extra scout there. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I really wanted to show in this game. I feel like one of the things I'm learning here is the live streams are a little bit less useful for being instructive because things can just not go the way you were kind of hoping. Like I was hoping to have a little bit more units to be able to grab to be able to explain that a little bit better, and yeah, a few other things. So maybe we'll stick with recordings for those kind of videos in the future. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what else I was. Oh yeah, I know what I was going to try. I was gonna. We need some. We need some fights with some religious battles. That's what we need. What am I doing here? Should probably at least keep doing what I'm supposed to do. Largely though, and keep pumping these guys out. Liang for the extra builder charge can be kind of nice. We could choose Void Singers, would be a great one for us. These obelisks to the old gods give +4 faith now. I feel like there should be something for like a volcano for a holy district. Like I feel like worshiping volcanoes or something is like a thing IRL. At least it should be. Oh, perfect. We got theology now. Excellent. I'm not really too worried about everything else. We'll go ahead and throw this card on. And there we go. And then we look over here and we went from 16, now we're at 22 production. So pretty huge to have that kind of adjacency bonus there if you can get it, obviously. Oops. Just trying to get some extra faith right now. I'm not really worried about anything else. Actually, I say I'm trying to get some extra faith. That'll help. There we go. Up to 50 a turn. It's pretty good. It's a little late if we were going straight for that. Like I'd want that much faith a little bit earlier on, but it's fine for now. normally what I do is move this trade route to like somewhere else, especially if this guy's got, potential to have a couple more mountains to really get the population booming to start is a great idea to do. But I'm not too worried about it right now. So, all right. So we can get apostles. They're 33% cheaper. As we can see, that allows us to buy a couple of them. So we'll do that. And then I'm not really worried about anything else. I'm just going to click in here. Oh, yeah, this is the ambush, that 20% combat strength that we're talking about. So usually I go ranger and then guerrilla, being able to move after attacking is pretty huge, and then ambush. This makes it pretty crazy with what you can do with units. You can also, like later on, if you are fighting units that don't exercise zone of control, like ranged units, you can actually like move in. Like if I had both promotions here, if I had Alpine and Ranger, you could move in, attack, and then move like twice and then move out on the same turn. So it can get a little broken. So just realize that's kind of a fun thing you can do. The problem is that the scouts are still, like, even in their best case scenario, they're still pretty fragile. So you still kind of got to babysit them a bit and be a little bit careful with them. Oh my gosh. Did he really spawn there? Oh my gosh, he can't get out. Oh no. Oh, oh, that's hilarious. He can't get out. Okay. Well, luckily we're Pachacuti, so we can do that to get him out. That's hilarious. Yeah, so upgrade here. Nothing really super interesting. We're not really worried about it, but sure, we'll pick something. And then we just need to find somebody else with a religion. I don't see... I'm wondering if this AI... I wonder if I turned that on a few weeks ago when I was playing with somebody. Mod is making it where it's a little bit easier, because they should have... I would think by now they would all have religions. So I'll have to investigate. Okay, those are both unmet players. That's unfortunate. I don't know where to go, since, I mean, I guess I could just head over here, I guess, with the apostles. See if I can find somebody to fight. Yeah, I might just chalk this up to needing to do a dedicated video to it, because I'm gonna have to wander around for several turns for quite a while, and it doesn't seem like anybody has any religions near me, which is really odd. So I'm kind of wondering if that's the AI mod or something doing something weird. But yeah. Anyways, so you can make a couple, but you can basically follow the same guide. Just choose kind of some of the same things for your religion, being able to purchase units, your apostles and missionaries cheaper. Just make a couple of them, and then what you do is you just kind of keep them relatively close. Since they do have such wild movement even pretty early on, you can move to a lot of different parts of your empire pretty easily. Go take them out, and when you do, you'll see that it'll drop their religion in the area, and it'll raise yours in that area. And so then it actually works for you, because then you don't need to go spread your religion to all a bunch of different places, because it'll kind of do it for you. So, but yeah, I think that doesn't look like anybody was able to drop in today. Let me just double check the Discord, make sure no one said anything. So they're going to be late or anything. I had a couple of maybes, so this was late notice. I only put this up last night. Yeah, it looks like we don't have anything. So yeah, I think we'll probably call it here for today. If you guys like this, I guess this is on recording, so it's only for the couple of people that are actually watching live that I imagine will get to this point. But if you like this, let me know if you're interested in some guides. I'm kind of looking at making some that are just kind of broken. I chatted with a couple of people, and they were like, yeah, I want something to play with my buddies and just like be able to destroy them. So I'm kind of looking at doing just kind of some broken builds, but I could also do some basic guys. Just let me know down in the comments if something sounds good, or you can always DM me from the Discord. Anyways, we'll call it here for today. I appreciate everybody watching and hanging out. It was a lot of fun, and we'll catch you in the next one.